Today I'm going to be reacting to Blackstar by David Bowie. Came out in 2016, actually a day before my birthday. That's cool. I do know a couple things about this album. I know that David Bowie passed away 2 days after this album was released. It says on Genius here that Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly was kind of a big inspiration in terms of him just not conforming to kind of straightforward hip-hop sounds and styles, and apparently Bowie wanted to do similar things here with this record, so that's going to be interesting to see. Make sure to go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. It's $4 a month, link in the description to go join that, and we're going to hop into it. The first track is Star. Oh, okay. Very cinematic right off the bat. I kind of hear the T-Pab influence right off the bat. This is weird. What the heck? It's kind of produced and mixed in a really similar way to that album. Now we're getting some like synth wavy stuff going on here. Weird. Yes. Just loving the atmosphere so far. Very off-kilter drum beat. Wow. I can already tell I'm gonna like this a lot more than Ziggy Stardust. Nice bass line there. It almost feels like Middle Eastern in a way. I don't know. Am I wrong for getting that vibe? Oh. This is more like art pop than anything. A lot less straightforward than Ziggy. There's that voice though.
Somebody else took his place and bravely cried. I'm a Blackstar. Lying instead of talking tall. He trod the sacred ground. He cried loud into the crowd.
Something very haunting about this as well, with those background vocals. Struggling with identity here, maybe? I love this vocal mixing here. It's so good. Reminds me of Perfume Genius quite a bit. Oh, come on. Just the different phases of this track. The instrumentation, the atmosphere, kind of this haunting feel to the entire thing. Oh. That was fantastic. I love the kind of cinematic and just really expansive and progressive direction that he's taking on this album. Yeah, it's weird because I definitely felt some T-Pab influence just with the cinematics of it all. The transitions between sections was great. The entire flow of the track was fantastic as well. I love the vocal mixing during parts of that, the vocal processing, but you still kind of do get that classic David Bowie vocal delivery that you hear on Ziggy Stardust a lot. In terms of lyrically, I'm just a little bit confused, which makes sense because I feel like even on Ziggy Stardust, I didn't catch everything that I probably should have lyrically, and I feel like that might be the same case here. It does feel like kind of struggling with just who he is, but then there's a lot of just like obscure abstract lyricism as well that I'm just not really getting here. So we'll keep it going. I don't want to get hung up on that too much, but love the sound, love the atmosphere, love the progression and flow of that track overall. 'Tis a pity she was a whore. Okay. 'Twas a pity. I love these kind of hypnotic grooves we got going on. Everything's a little bit off kilter. Jeez.
She punched me like a dude. Hold your bad hands, I cried. 'Tis a pity she's so.
A very strange mix of chaos and beauty on this track. There's kind of a bright life to it, but it all feels on the edge of just losing itself at the same time. Right here, sounds like something from Black Midi almost.
Black struck the kiss, he kept my cock. Smoke the
Oh. Whew.
that was patrol. 'Tis a pity she was a whore.
Sax work? Oh. Wow, that was amazing. Bro, the saxophone is such an interesting instrument. Like, the way that I feel like it's one of the most, like, expressive instruments and one of the most human instruments in a way. Especially on that track. It's just a great display of how a sax can really create just a chaotic and almost frightening feel. I feel like Pharoah Sanders does that a lot on the stuff that I've heard from him, at least. It literally just sounds like a person screaming in a way. So it kind of gives this uncanny but just very potent emotion as well. I don't know. Sax is a crazy instrument. I love the sax work on that track. I love the driving drum beat throughout the entire thing. Really kept a steady pulse to the entire track. Kind of a more off-kilter vocal performance from David Bowie here, but I think it matches the vibe of the track overall. Lyrically, again, I'm pretty confused, but takes its title from a John Ford play by the name of Tis Pity She's a Whore. It acknowledges the shocking rawness of the First World War. Yeah, interesting. I like the kind of underlying chaos and anxiety to that track. Lazarus is next. That bass line. Oh. Oh, I love how soothing that little sax melody is. The way it's played. Oh.
I've got drama, can't be stolen. Everybody knows me now.
I mean, this obviously hits a lot harder considering the passing of him 2 days after this was released. Such a good bass
Look
line.
up here, man, I'm in danger. like a king.
Wow. Oh, oh, it's mixed so well. Oh, the subtleness, the soft. How soft, the soft. There you go. The softness, just. That I think that might be my favorite. Lyrically, it really resonated with me. Obviously, with the context of him passing 2 days after this makes it a lot more hard-hitting. But even without that, I feel like it would still be pretty hard-hitting. It hit me because I just watched a movie or a documentary last night. I think it was, what was it called? Stutz, I think, by Jonah Hill. They were talking about death in that movie and just kind of the idea of not being afraid of it and just perceiving it as this beautiful thing, even if there's nothing after life, even if it's just, you just kind of become just nothingness in a void of nothingness. How that, even that just kind of sounds appealing. And then I was just thinking, like, death doesn't necessarily scare me. It just, I don't know. And then I feel like this track is kind of that same idea. Just the idea of being set free. Sue or in a season of crime. Look at that hi-hat rhythm. Wait, where was it? Not there. This is so good.
Why too dark to speak the words?
Drums are so good on this.
Ride the train, I'm far from home. Dear, I kissed your face. I touched your face.
This track sonically just feels like running away from something. It's so frantic. So he got cheated on here? Maybe? Very frantic, chaotic, and unsettling track. It feels like kind of just detailing a relationship that falls apart, maybe? I don't know. We'll click Genius, see what any of this says. If it helps me out at all here. See, I think it's is it based off a play? Yeah, it's based off a play. So I feel like not knowing that, it just kind of, I'm just in the dark, you know? I don't really, it's just going to be that much harder to really get what's going on here. But I'm just going to take it as I took it, as just a story of a relationship. You can see during the even the first verse, while maybe it seems okay, there is kind of resentment here, I feel like, building up, maybe with just like traditional societal gender norms, perhaps. Sue, I got the job, we'll buy the house, you need to rest. Sonically, fantastic, like I said, very frantic. Drums on that track were really intricate. Girl Loves Me.
Gina so sound so titty up, this mouth check say. Party up, moods, 90 fella set round on Tuesday.
What language is this?
Real bad dizzy snatch, making all the homies mad.
Well, it's partly English. I'm confused. What?
I'm sitting
know what's happening. I don't know. I have no clue what's going on.
Rush up, split a dead from his ding ding. Fiddy viddy at the China.
Split a dead from his dang dang. Why does that sound weirdly sexual? Nadsat? What is Nadsat? I mean, this track sounds great. I just have no idea what's happening lyrically. I gotta click it. Wow. Okay, clicking this genius annotation just gave me a kind of a crazy insight to what this track might be about. This phrase makes use of the final day of the week's apocalyptic power, the image of a never-ending Sunday representing the end of youthful enjoyment and ultimately death. Obviously, that idea of Sunday being kind of bittersweet because it's the last day of the weekend. You're going to work the next day, but then you can also kind of take that as in a more grand sense of it being the last day of true enjoyment of your entire life, I guess, or as it says, youthful enjoyment. And then where the fuck did Monday go? Just like not being alive to see that Monday kind of hits hard, definitely. Okay, what is this language? These lines contain a mixture of terms from English and Nadsat. What is Nadsat? I don't know. Is it going to tell me what Nadsat is? The song's lyrics are half Nadsat. The language used in Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange. Okay, I haven't seen that movie, but I've heard about it, and I've heard that it's good. And half Polari, a slang language from gay clubs in 70s London. Okay, so, hold on. See, this is how little I know. Is David Bowie gay? Okay, so he was, right? Yeah, see, I think it said something about that on Ziggy Stardust, but I don't really remember. And that's, yeah, so looks like he was definitely like a pioneer of that. Sorry, a slang language from gay clubs in 70s London. Bowie encapsulates what it's like to be in hardcore pain and on heavy medication. So maybe using these different languages is just like, because you know how people like think in different languages? You know, maybe that's what this is. Like, we're really getting an insight into his mind here, and it's all just kind of coming out. Dollar Days. I gotta say, hearing Bowie on top of this more modern production and just this kind of lush atmosphere is so much better than Ziggy Stardust. You can crucify me in the comments down below. You can hate on me, but I have to say, it just sounds leagues better.
Cash girl, suffer me. I've got no enemies. I'm walking down. It's nothing.
Another great bass line. Nice acoustic here.
It's nothing to see. I'm dying to push their backs against the grain and fool them all again and again. I'm trying to. Don't believe for just 1 second.
Those synths in the back.
I'm getting you. I'm trying to. It's nothing to me. It's nothing to see.
Okay. Interesting direction to go after that track, but pretty powerful track here. Obviously, I've said this so many times, again, with the context of his passing right after this album. Makes it a little bit more poignant as well. Yeah, it acknowledges music industry, Bowie's fans, and his then impending death. Bowie contemplates his regrets and successes, juxtaposing them with lines about what may or may not become of him in the afterlife. Definitely has been a theme so far throughout this album, kind of continuing on here in this track. I feel like this track or this lyric definitely hit me pretty hard. It's nothing to me, it's nothing to see. If I'll never see the English evergreens I'm running to, it just feels like yearning for something, but just not getting it and just being abruptly cut off by death. Last track, I Can't Give Everything Away.
I can't give everything. I can't give everything. Saying no, but meaning yes. This is all I ever meant. That's the message that I sent. I can't give everything. I know something's very wrong. The pulse returns to prodigal sons, with blackouts, hearts with flowered news.
Wow. Obviously, I don't know too much about David Bowie. This is only the second album I've heard from him. But I feel like a big part of him and his music is just kind of how abstract it is, how mysterious, I guess, even though DJ Khaled, I hate that word because of what DJ Khaled said, but it is mysterious. He does kind of present himself as this mysterious, mystical kind of figure, I feel like. And I feel like the whole sentiment of I can't give everything away just echoes that perfectly, of just having your art, and a lot of people do kind of give everything away in their art and put their heart and soul into it. I'm not saying that he doesn't put his heart and soul into it, but they kind of just like delve into everything personal. But I feel like David Bowie on the two albums that I've heard kind of just makes that a little bit more cloudy, doesn't give details that he doesn't feel are necessary, or parts about his life that he doesn't feel are necessary, and it just feels like he's kind of content with that. I like that idea, because I feel like a lot of artists feel like they have to disclose their entire personal life and everything about them in their music, and I like when artists kind of take a step back from that and kind of distance themselves from the media. Some of my favorite artists of all time do that all the time. Frank Ocean, love him or hate him with his recent Coachella stuff, does that. MF Doom does that a lot. Yeah, fantastic ending to this fantastic album. I like the inclusion of sax a lot on this album. It's included so much, and it adds so much kind of soul to the album. It feels kind of like a character of its own, which is really cool. Stylistically, it reminded me of a lot of current stuff as well, which is probably because a lot of these current artists that it reminded me of took influence from this, like Black Midi it reminded me of, Perfume Genius, even Black Country New Road at points as well. So a lot of artists that I love that it reminded me of, so it makes sense why I liked this quite a bit. Pretty poignant, pretty hard-hitting at points, very abstract. That's going to do it. Let me know your thoughts on this album down below. Let me know anything I missed, of course. Albums like this, it's extremely hard to catch everything on a first listen, and I probably barely caught anything. So let me know any insight you want to give me down below. I always read the comments, so if you want to do that, that would be great. Leave a like if you want, subscribe, go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.